Hello, everyone. Welcome to Breath Hub at Work podcast. We have Div here. Welcome, Div.
Hi, Nevşah. Welcome. Thank you so much for having me here.
Yeah, thanks for being here. And we are lucky that you're in London because you live in San Francisco, right?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. And I heard that you were in India and then you came here and you're going back to San Francisco. Maybe we should start by you should start by introducing yourself and then we'll go from there.
Sure. Sounds good. I would love to start with the 2-minute mindfulness practice. If you're all open to it, I have a video ready.
I would love
Um,
to.
all right. If we could have the video play. Take a moment to make yourself comfortable where you are. Today, we are going to dive into loving kindness for you and everyone around us. Let's start by relaxing our body and mind. Take a deep breath in and out. You have a clear commitment to enjoy the beauty and paradox of life as it unfolds. You believe in living a meaningful, balanced life. And from now on, adopt the habit of fact-checking your thoughts. Day by day, together we will filter thoughts. You accept only those coming from a place of love, acceptance, and compassion. To belong and feel safe in a team or group, we will cultivate empathy. Empathy is feeling and understanding another person's experience. And one way of doing this is to imagine yourself in their shoes. Think of a person in your team and bring to mind the role that they are holding in the group. What are their responsibilities? And what might be some of the challenges of being in that role? When we empathize with someone, we engage in a supportive way with loving kindness. We win or lose together. Be a guiding light. Now open your eyes and let's finish by taking a deep breath in and out. Thank you, and I
Thank
hope
you, Div.
everyone's
It was
practicing some
nice.
loving
Thank
kindness
you.
today. You're welcome. This was my first step of this year trying to bring mindful practices into work, into my day-to-day, and it's been lovely that I got to share this with all of you today.
Yeah, thank you very much. Lovely. Yeah, so let's start by introducing yourself.
Sure. So I'm Div Manickam, leader, mentor, author, writer, teacher recently, trying to live a portfolio life where I want to do the things that I love. So I've realized that over the years, working in Fortune 500 companies, startups, all of the things, I think mentoring was the center core that kept me alive, that brought the best of me, and I was able to bring the best of other folks. And so I've doubled down on making mentoring as my sole purpose and my ikigai in life. So here I am taking on that after the pandemic to actually get back to travel, which is my second part of me. I love the travel aspect and explore life as much as I can. So with everything that I do, I want to try to work 4 days. So mentor, teach. So I teach product marketing. I mentor on career growth, authentic leadership, and product marketing, and stress and anxiety, whatever, mental well-being, all of these things that have helped me kind of shift my focus and also focus on what truly matters. So that's a little bit about me.
Lovely.
I was
Yeah.
I'm here in London for a couple weeks. I'm going back and on Monday. Boring is probably the word to put as if we had to find one word for me. It's all about the explorer.
Lovely. Yeah, lovely to hear. You wear many hats.
Yes, I figured I cannot do
Wonderful.
just one thing.
Yeah, right. You live in San Francisco, where half of the city is are VCs and half of the city are startups. So you probably have been in the startup environment, and we're also a startup, work with companies. Where do you see the startup world heading, or the VC world heading, um, in business terms and also in mindfulness terms?
Yeah. So when I think about organizations and startups, as part of the Women in APIs, I've tried to bring mindfulness into the API ecosystem. But at the same time, when I think about startups and everything that we're having lived in San Francisco for over 10 years, seeing the busy factor and trying to keep up with change, keep up with what's happening around, it can sometimes, if you are not working on the right things and if you're just on the go, pretty much, it your personal life, it can put a strain on your mental well-being, and if you don't notice it, then it becomes very hard. So one of the uh, big awakenings I would say that I had was I was going through a lot of stress and anxiety over the past couple of years. For the pandemic, Feb 2020 was when I was diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder, and I didn't even know that was a term, that was a thing, because I thought as a leader I just had to just soak it up, do whatever I can, just keep going, going, going. And I realized, like, around 2019, I was in pilot mode. I was there, but I wasn't really there, and I knew something wasn't right, but nobody could help figure out what was happening. And then I think I had my own waves of coming out of it and figuring out like what really matters and what I want to. And I think that's when figuring out, like, as a startup, if you are trying to do too many things at once, right? Oftentimes you're like, okay, I need to find my product market fit, and this is where my focus is. I need to do whatever it takes to get there. But you also have to be thinking about your in life, because a lot of what you're doing, if you're not taking care of yourself, you can't take care of your team, you can't take care of your family, you can't take care of your community, and you'll start seeing trickling effects. It's a domino effect eventually. So I encourage everybody to pay attention to what you're doing. um, I know we have the startup craziness in SF where it's like you're working days and nights and weekends, and trust me, it's not sustainable, and it's not a healthy work environment as well, right? You want to create environments uh, thriving, so people can actually thrive and they feel like, okay, I'm actually doing something that's helping and contributing to the bigger ecosystem, the bigger community. And so that's where I would focus and try to see if you can get that alignment, making it work.
Yeah, I think what you said is really important, and that has been my message for a long time. When building anything, you need to be strong yourself. You need to, be mindful about how you use your time. It's like, it's great. I'm leading a startup right now as well, so I'm in the startup industry myself, and we need to, I think, understand as leaders and entrepreneurs that especially when we make a choice to found a startup, we need to be very much aware of how we use our time, because it's obvious that you are going to be working, late hours, and you're going to be working more than anyone else, like maybe even 10 times more. And we need to be aware that we're making that conscious choice. And in that 5 to 6 years, whatever, you need two things. You need yourself to stay healthy and well, and then you need to keep on working. So if we think like, because that's what I see in the startup founders, that's why they, I think, burn out, because they think they can build a startup and keep on socializing, or they can build a startup or keep on, drinking and partying, or they can build a startup and, go out shopping or traveling. It's like, we need to, I think, understand we're making a choice by building a startup, and we need time and we need energy. So the second thing you can do, besides work, is mindfulness practices and breath work and anything around keeping yourself healthy and well and balanced. And that's it. Your life will be keeping yourself balanced, strong and well, and working. Those two things. And I think, you know, understanding that is, it's like it makes things so much easier. You know, just let go of all the socializing and the partying and the watching Netflix for a couple of years, like for 6 years, 5 years, whatever. Just let them go.
Yeah.
Just focus on your own health and focus on your startup. And then you eventually can reach your goals without losing your mind and losing your health. I think the reason why, I think the reason why people are burned out and, you know, tired and stressed is because, two things: they don't value their time, and they think they can live the life they lived before founding a startup, which is impossible. And they think they can, you know, keep on working like that without stopping, and that's a mistake. It's like you need to balance the effort and the pause, and because you need a lot of pauses, because you are working a lot, you just need to quit stuff. You know, you just need to say no to other
make
things.
the choice.
Use your time wisely.
It's like, yeah, you have to bring
so I'm
your
sure
mind,
you're
body, and soul.
teaching that as well. Yeah.
Yeah, you're basically trying and soul together. And these were some of my discoveries in early 2020, where I realized that, oh, my sleep wasn't where I wanted it to be, or I wasn't sleeping well. I was feeling tired all the time. My food, what I put in is what I more attention to balanced nutrition, to intermittent fasting. I realized the importance of walking, how much your body, your mind is also interconnected with exercise and walking. So you have to make sure you're bringing those aspects together. And if you don't pay attention, at the end of the day, it starts affecting your memory. And that's when I really had my big, oh my gosh, what's happening? Like I always took pride out of my, like the things I could remember. My friends would say, how do you still remember birthdays? Like friends that are like 20, 25 years before. And they're like, I don't know, somehow it's like engraved in my mind. But if you ask me what I ate last week, I might not remember. So like you'll start noticing some of these things. And when I started taking care of eating healthy and making sure I get at least 30 minutes of a walk every day, like I have put my schedule such that I know that I don't have to work the full day, the full night, or full weekend. I can be smart about the time. Like time is money is how I like to think of it. And so I've prioritized to say Monday to Thursday is for mentoring, for teaching, for work, any product marketing projects that I'm working on. And then my Friday to Sunday is all about my self-care. So I literally have my Fridays as me time. This is my finding my happiness. And I like to think of Sunday as my time for exploring, traveling, food, whatever brings joy for me, right? So finding that right balance is important. And I'm a big believer of the 4-day work week, because I haven't seen me as productive as I've seen myself in the past year. No, like I completely believe that the whole 9 to 5 doesn't really are the most productive. And that's usually my mornings. And I can get things done much more effectively when I have like a mindful calendar. Like before I would be in meetings and I would be trying to eat my lunch, and I know I was neither in the meeting nor in enjoying my lunch. And so now literally I have like on a my breakfast time, my lunch time, my dinner time, I have like a walk to remember 30 minutes that I put in, and then everything else is around it, right? Not that I'm cut shorting and finding shortcuts to do things, but I'm actually being intentional about what I do on a day-to-day basis. And it has definitely changed my life for sure.
Yeah. So remembering to take a breath, remembering to consciously
and that's
breathe.
why I'm fascinating what you all doing. Yeah.
It's just amazing because I did practice a lot of mindfulness, also meditation. I've been practicing meditation for over 20 years now. I've been practicing yoga, different mind transformation tools, and breathwork still amazes me with its power, especially on the physical side. And it's so easy and I'm sure you do practice breath work yourself and you teach breath work as well. So I'm going to come back to breath work because I think breath work is very much different from any other technique or any other method because it involves physical, mental, spiritual, emotional bodies. You immediately start changing your body's chemistry. Your neurological pathway starts changing. Everything starts changing in a couple of minutes. It's fast, it's effective, and I strongly believe that breath work, breathing practices during the day, 5 to 10 minutes, is gonna revolutionize your whole daily life, how you spend the day, how you live your day. It's kind of like a reset button, and it's fast and easy. So I strongly believe this is the tool for the 21st century people, because people have been trying mindfulness meditation. That's great. And I just see that many people still find it hard without breath work or without breathing. But with breathing and breath work and breathing exercises, you know, calming down the mind is easy. Energizing yourself is easy. If you have a headache, easing that is easy, fast. So what has been your experience? How has been your experience with breath work?
Indeed. So we sometimes forget that breathing is what keeps us alive. And so I'll start there, right? So when we think about taking a breath, I think I noticed it most when my anxiety peaks up a lot. So to end of 2021 was when I was riverfront, the trail, and my anxiety peaked up. I knew I was not feeling quite well. And then I literally blacked out. I didn't remember what happened after that. In a couple minutes, I woke up. I scarred my face. I was bleeding. And my friend was with me, freaked out. He was like, "Oh my gosh, what happened? Are you okay?" And I was like, I only remember seeing like, oh, I see a wall. I need to go like lean to the wall because I felt like I was going to get dizzy. But I don't remember making it to the wall. I literally fell on the tar and scraped my face. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is like crazy. I'd been observing it for the past year. I realized I had to put like right practices. I need to breathe in. I didn't realize I was breathing wrongly all my life. And so I started learning about the breathing technique, right? You breathe with your tummy filling up and then breathe out when your tummy goes in. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. And I paid attention to the work environment I was in. The work environment I was in around that time was very toxic. We had a lot of I don't know, somehow I feel like I'm a very highly sensitive person, so I kind of absorb the energy in the environment. Even though we were all remote, I still could absorb that negative stress environment. I had to make a choice. I decided to leave the job, but then I knew that even just within a few weeks I was getting back to my normal, right? Like I felt like I was happy again. I felt like my happiness had kind of disappeared from the time I took the job to just a couple months in. And breathing was something that had to how I was feeling, because I was very good at just suppressing what I was feeling and not really paying attention to it, right? Just put it under the rug and be like, yeah, it'll be okay, just don't worry. But now anytime I have even a little bit of inkling of anxiety, I'll start breathing in. I'll start breathing out. I'll breathe in and breathe out to pace myself, to calm myself, and also pay attention to the vagus nerve. So as I understand today, the reason why I had that blackout was whenever I have anxiety, my stomach is what usually gets upset. And because of that, it directly connected to your heart. And so in a blip moment, you basically black out. And I've probably had these instances throughout my life. I just didn't know that was what it was. So now I take breathing for my life, and I really pay attention to whenever I feel that. That's why, like, it doesn't matter what work I have to like prepare an hour beforehand and make sure I'm ready, because I cannot just go like multitasking that I used to be really great at. I can't do it anymore. I can do single tasking, and the reality is we're all good at that. And so breathing has been that central core for me to make sure that I'm not just being busy. The busy being the badge of honor. I want to say that, hey, I value the time I have. I value every breath that I have. And as I go, if at all there are symptoms, there are things that doesn't feel right for me, I'll really pay attention to my emotions, my feelings, because they're all interconnected, your mind, your body, your soul. And if you don't really, it's giving you all the signs. It's been giving me those signs for the past 5 years, and I was too stupid to even pay attention, right? I needed a scar on my face to remind me every morning that my life is precious and I need to take care of myself. So with that, I would say,
Wow.
like, breathing and the
Yeah.
breath work is phenomenal. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's like, that's one of the reasons why I enjoy walking, right? Walking in nature, walking near plants and flowers, because the rhythm that nature follows is the rhythm that we follow, and somehow you kind of end up syncing or creating that circadian rhythm with them. And I go to, like, yesterday I went to the Cambridge Botanical Garden, and I literally spent the whole day just connecting with nature and breathing calmly in any way I could. So that's a little bit about
Lovely.
breathing.
Yeah, I think you got aware of your breathing habits, because we all have different breathing habits, which are the root cause of over 200 symptoms. You got aware of, because of your mindfulness practice and increased awareness. I suppose you got aware of your breathing habits and noticed how you are breathing whenever you are anxious and whenever maybe panicky or stressed. That's the main thing. It's like building breath awareness would be probably the most important practice of our lives, because then you understand why you're feeling that way, or why you're upset, or why your stomach is upset, and because your breath changed. And we don't understand how our breathing, how just a little nuance change in our breathing can affect our overall health and performance. And we are here to help as the Breath Up community. Thank you. I enjoyed every moment of our communication speech. Do you have one last message to tell to our
I would
users
just
and
say
also
that,
people interested in breathwork?
Indeed, absolutely. Thank you so much, Nevşah and the Breathwork team. Right, this is in terms of what you're all trying to change. Right, I think we all need to be a little bit more mindful, and I would say try to be mindful at work every day. Right, you could just start with something as simple as, "Hey, good morning. I want to be mindful at work today," and then be conscious of every choice you make in moment, because a lot of what you're trying to do is trying to get to the core of what's important to you, what are you trying to do. And for me, slowing down was the biggest gift. I think the past couple of years has been very challenging for a lot of folks, and we were all going through a lot of self-reflection and everything, and mindfulness became a blessing. It helped me be in the here and now, and that's what I encourage everybody to think of, right? Whether it's waking up in the morning, take a deep breath, finding ways to reduce your anxiety, be a bit more proactive, be a bit more organized if you can, and figure out what is that equanimity that you're trying to get, right? There's so much chaos, there's so much things happening that we could easily, so try to reach the balance, the Tao. And I'm here to help you as you're going through. Nevşah is here to help, right? There are so much work that we can all do to get to be a human a bit more, I guess. So thank you all so much, and it was lovely getting to know all of you.
To be human and to be in the moment. Thank you, Div. Talk to you soon then.
All right, take care, everyone.
Have a great journey. Bye.